Hey, Leonard Geddes here, founder of the Learn Well Projects. I hope you leaders and learners are doing well. Today, I'm going to hopefully take a minute of your time to make learning a little bit more visible, manageable, and effective, with the hope of having an immediate impact and building an enduring legacy of academic success. Where I can add value to what you're doing is to help show you how to use a key tool to empower your students to deliver the type of high quality work that you demand and expect. And also, I should add that they are capable of delivering, assuming that we can empower their metacognitive skills. Students are going to learn better and faster, and I should also add that they're going to score higher on challenging tests and tasks. And you can't get more fundamental than that, right? So we're going to use the Think Well, Learn Well diagram, and I'm going to use the animation lab to help illuminate these subterranean processes and make them more visible, more accessible, and more actionable. Dr. Phillips often felt conflicted between covering all the content his students needed to learn, ensuring he's meeting high standards, and ensuring his students have transferable skills for the workplace. He noticed that the more content he covered, the less capable his students were at connecting the content to the bigger concepts of his course. So in class, his students dutifully took notes and seemed to get it, but they often failed to transfer their knowledge on exams. Dr. Phillips spent so much time covering all of the content. How could this be happening? Could there be a connection amongst these issues? According to metacognition, there is. Students were learning to replicate content in his class, rather than using their thinking skills to further develop this information beyond its initial state. When students use their metacognitive powers, they participate at high levels in class on projects. The question is, how can we empower students to use their metacognitive skills? Dr. Phillips used the Think Well, Learn Well diagram to help his students differentiate their thinking skills. First, he used the tool to help students discern shallow thinking from deep thinking. And he started with a sticky metaphor that he knew would resonate with his class. Each of you understands that each unit of money has a different value. Similarly, in your careers, your pay will be based largely on the value of the skills needed to do the job. Well, the thinking skills you use in my class and in the workplace have different levels of value as well. This diagram is a tool to help you differentiate your thinking skills. The more you use deeper skills, the skills toward the bottom of this diagram, the more valuable your work will be and the more equipped you will be for higher paying jobs. Once students made the connection between better thinking and better income, the class had the necessary energy to go deeper into the lesson. Dr. Phillips then moved to the third column of the diagram. Think of your mind as a production machine. Each level of this diagram represents different types of academic product that your mind produces. The first row represents the work you do when you simply copy and replicate ideas you got from me or resources we used in class. So a key skill you will need to learn is how to control the metacognitive conditions of your mind in class and as you study to activate specific thinking skills. We'll cover more about this skill later. For now, you can equate the memorization mode of thinking to being able to follow directions at work, kind of like a robot following commands. Now, you don't want to compete with skills robots possess because robots can work for free and they can work forever. Typically, robotic jobs, such as those that can be automated, are the lowest paying jobs in our economy. Dr. Phillips could see the gears turning in students' heads as they made the connections between being stuck in low-level thinking and being stuck in low-paying jobs. Then he moved to the second row, pointing to the fourth column. He says, the outcome at this level is worth double the previous level. You are operating on this level when you explain or provide justifications for your responses. Tracking back to the second column, Dr. Phillips says, and to produce this quality of outcome, you will need to use the understanding skill. This skill does the work of taking the isolated daily content we cover in each class and piecing it together in a broader context. As an example, if you took the material we covered throughout the week and pieced it together to see how the topics flow together and were meaningful, then you would be using your understanding skill. Finally, if we go back to the first column of the diagram, the metacognitive learning goals, we see the mental conditions that trigger the understanding skill. Again, I want you to become aware of the conditions that are in your mind in class and when you study, because changing these conditions is a key to changing the quality of your work. In the working world, this quality of thinking would be like you being able to explain why a certain policy, program, process, or protocol is important to a company, or being able to see how your work as a front desk employee in a hotel connects with the hotel's business operations and goals. Let's step back for a moment. Notice the difference between the quality of mental work and outcomes of the first and second rows. In the third row, fourth column, we see the value of work at this level quadruples that of the first row and doubles the work of the second row. On this level of work, you are using your mind to transfer ideas and concepts across contexts. You perform this work when you apply concepts to different problems. So if we go over a particular concept or formula in class, or if you read it in a book, you are working on this level when you can apply your knowledge to a particular situation that is different from the original context. The applying level of thinking powers this type of outcome, and to generate this mode of thinking, you would need to be in the state of mind where you are contemplating how concepts, formulas, etc. work in different situations. As an example of how this thinking manifests in the working world, this level of work would involve you taking a biotechnology component or process and exploring how it applies across different contexts. Let's step back again and consider how these skills interact and at many times build upon each other. In order to apply a concept across contexts, you would first need to have a sufficient level of understanding of the concept. The lack of understanding of math concepts is one of the primary reasons students are unable to solve word problems in mathematical courses. Each problem provides different context in which the concepts are presented. Students who have only done the work to memorize formulas or concepts level 1, but have not done the mental work to understand the concepts level 2, will struggle to solve problems that express concepts across different contexts level 3. So the levels at times work together. This is why work on the applying level is double the previous level. Okay, let's stop here and summarize what we've covered so far, because the next levels are where the real cognitive complexity and the real earning potential begins. All modes of thinking are useful, but they are not equally valuable. Student success in class and in their careers depends on their ability to skillfully use their thinking skills to produce the proper outcomes. The content students learn is important, but the thinking skills they employ to learn the content is more important. As students learn to control the metacognitive conditions of their thinking, they will be able to activate the correct thinking skills to generate the outcomes you need them to achieve. Remember, if students think well, they will learn well and perform well in school, work, and in life.